Bonjour, zage do an Awasis na dishnakaz, wabjeshi na do dem, mitchif an shanabe quendao, nijmana duandao. My name's Awasis. I'm from the Pine Marten clan of the Ojibwe, Métis, and Nishnawbek nations, and I'm a two-spirit woman. Two-spirit is an English umbrella term to unify gender variant Indigenous people. So there's specific nation-specific roles that fall under this umbrella, but it's a way to bring people together that are LGBT, queer, Indigenous people. So I see myself as a woman, but also as someone who works between those two genders as well. Why spoken word? I guess it would be one of my gifts. It's something that I've found is an effective way for me to express how I'm feeling or work through any problems. So it's something that's come natural to me, and it's something that I see as, it's important. It feels good. It's a way of connecting to other people, other artists, but also just anyone who I share with. I've been doing spoken word as long as I could speak. I've been writing for just about as long as I could write, but it really wasn't till probably, grade 6 or so that I actually started to find my voice and feel brave-hearted enough to share with others what I was writing. And then in high school, I became more involved in hip-hop culture, and that really added another layer to it. I started to collaborate with people with beats and melodies, and it started to take a larger form than just spoken word, but also connected to the soundscape, how things sound, and working with other creative people. Biskabiang. A lot. Biska, that part, from what I've been told, is about like a roundabout motion, like returning to who we are, returning to the lands, our sacred places, like we're living the stories of our sacred places and starting to see the world like our ancestors did, reclaiming place names, reclaiming ways of knowing ourselves, ways of knowing each other, the environment. So Biskabiang to me is about returning to that way of being in the world and thinking critically about the way things are, how we're told they are. I guess growing up and starting to see, more women, more queer women taking up space in that community was, I saw it as an opportunity to become involved and to participate and to collaborate with people, to connect with other people. So it was really an opportunity and something that, really gave me confidence in expressing who I am and what my role is. The Great Lakes landscape has changed drastically as a result of colonialism, and our ancestors might not even recognize it. I think particularly of Chemical Valley outside Amjanong First Nation, about an hour away from here, and I can't even imagine what that would have looked like before 56 chemical refineries were put on that land. It's really hard to find any creek or puddle or body of water in that area that is safe and healthy. And our ancestors used to be able to, dip their hands into the lakes and drink from them. That's how clean they were. There was salmon, there were eels in these lakes. And in returning to ourselves, returning to the land, this idea of Biskabiang, we can't even, find that sustenance in the same places that our ancestors would have. Like, things are drastically changing. And I think it's important to know where we've come from, to know where we want to go, to reestablish these relationships with these plants and animals and the lands, we have to begin thinking about how our ancestors would have related to them. So that's the importance for me in thinking about, you know, how this landscape has changed, is thinking about how we can improve relations. You know, we have treaties with plants and animals, and those ones haven't been broken on their part. They've been broken on our part. So what does it look like to uphold those treaty negotiations? I would argue that's almost more of a priority to me than treaties with the Canadian government, because we can live without the Canadian government. We can't live without the land and water. How spoken word can be put into action. It's different for everyone, I think. And this is something that I think a lot about, because I really do want to move people to action with my words. And I think that the way it resonates with people, what they take away from it, is always different. And I don't necessarily have an action in mind when I'm looking to move someone, right? It could be as simple as a phrase that I've used or a topic that I've touched on, and them going home and sharing that around their dinner table. It could mean them starting to meet with other people and asking, you know, what can we do about this local issue that we have, about the neighboring dump, or about sewage being put into the Thames, and starting to build that network with me, with other communities. So I think that that movement towards action is not something that you can intentionally, you know, plan for. I think it's something that comes up really organically, and just by talking about, you know, embodied knowledge. Yeah, and that they'll connect it with it in their own individual way. I really like the idea of, like, singing to the water, having counsel with the water, and thinking about, you know, what they would say in all these decisions that are being made on their behalf. And yeah, part of the embodiment and actions that come out of spoken word for me is exactly that, is acting on behalf of the waters. So if I could get people to just rethink their relationship to the waters, that's amazing. That would be great. But if I can get someone to go even a step further and act on behalf of them, like think about maybe not using plastic bottles, or to question the imposition of a pipeline through their territory, and give people, you know, tools, or share knowledge about organizing to help people find that empowerment within them. So having people recognize their inherent rights, and that's not something that, you know, someone can give you. It's something that you are comprised of, is this inherent right to be connected to the land. You know, our names are based on the land, our clans are based on the land. Who you are is intrinsically connected to the lands and waters, and our inherent rights are about embodying those things, about actually getting onto the land and building a relationship. It's not something you can do just from reading a book or from, you know, hearing someone talk about it. It's actually about doing, right? Do you ever feel like no one speaks your language? Like individual actions could never make systemic changes? You are comprised of thousands upon thousands of ancestral faces. Recognize land, water, plant, food, medicine relations. We are living the stories of our sacred places. It's what tear gas at Standing Rock tastes like. It's your family's illegal trapline at night, casualties of the giveaway baby's plight. The coming together and ground shaking of timely highway blockade vibration. Hold on to these thunderous exchanges that liberate and defend creation.